Okay, so here we are again, probably on the one of the most boring channel on the YouTube you can find, and in this video we will try to find out which lens is better for portraits. And I'm going to test two lenses from Samyang, and they are kind of close lenses because the one is 50 millimeters and the second one is 35 millimeter. Both of them are of course f1.4 lenses, and as you can see both of them are weather sealed in the mount, and of course both of them are designed for Sony full frame camera and especially for Sony E mount. I think in general that I like the design and build quality of both of them. As you can see also they have some custom switch and the manual, and it's like mostly manual and autofocus switch, and they also have a custom button, and it is mainly used for autofocus hold button. As you can see also the 35 millimeters is having bigger front element glass, and I know that there is a lot of people who loves 35 millimeters perspective. I also know that there is 50 millimeters team on the photographers family, and I will try to find out which one can be better. As you can see also the focus rings, manual focus rings works perfectly fine. Both are similar, they are working smooth and nice. And also as you can see the 35 millimeters is visibly heavier than 50 millimeters f1.4 from Samyang, and I prefer of course when the lens is smaller and lighter, but if the lens is very good, I think that this 200 grams is not a main factor to decide which lens to take. And let's begin with autofocus test, and it will be walking autofocus test. And as you can see, my today's model is coming forward and backward, and at the beginning we have a kind of slow pace, and I think that it's 50 millimeters, and this autofocus is keeping the subject, the eye of the subjects kind of good. And let's try the a little bit faster pace. And the very important thing is here is that we have no focus briefing at all in this lens. And right now let's check the 35 millimeters, and it also works very good in here. I think that it's kind of similar, both of them are keeping the eye kind of good, and I think that in 35 millimeters we've got a little bit more of focus briefing, so you have to keep in mind it in while trying to do some video work with that lens. So I am giving a little bit of plus for 50 millimeters f1.4, and right now we've got 35 millimeters, and it's a point autofocus, and as you can see moving to side, and it works very good. And right now I'm touching the screen to find a focus, and it transition kind of fast, very good, on point. So nice job Samyang. And let's check the 50 millimeters on the same setup, and at the beginning of course side to side, and we can see that it works a little bit slowly, so it's not so fast as 35 millimeters, but it's a video mode, so we have to also keep in mind it. But I think that for video work this kind of focus speed is maybe it can be enough. So that's how it looks So 35mm is a little bit better in this aspect if you are considering. So what's the frame perspective? And at the beginning, let's see, 35mm, 50 of course is not so wide, and let's see this side by side. So that's the difference, we know the difference, so this is how it looks like. And the very important thing I want to mention in here is the colors and distortions, because look at this picture, then look at this, so we can see clearly the difference in colors, and we also can see the distortion. When we have the same frame, the 35mm is a little bit distorted when we are getting closer to a model, and you could also see that the eye of the model in this shot was much sharper in 50mm. The minimum focus distance is generally the same, so I cannot see any major difference in this, so it's equal. Once again, let's see a sharp, and we can also see that 50mm is giving us a little bit more of sharpness in here, and we will see some next examples of sharpness and colors. And look at the 35mm, it's looking more like some kind of magenta, maybe purple, maybe a little bit like more bluish, and in general I think that 50mm colors rendition is better. I feel like 50mm is more close to a real colors which we had in a real life in that situation. And of course on the both lenses the setup was the same, so the white balance, shutter speed and the ISO was just the same if all of the examples you can see in this video. Right now you can also see the background compression, how it looks. I was making these shots from the same place with both of these lenses, and as you can see, the 50mm is giving us a little bit more of this compression. 35 is just wider, and with 50mm from the same distance we can get a little bit closer, and by the way we can get much background blur, so it may be also important for you. And at the end of this video I will try to make some point which lens is better for me and which one I will stay. So stay to the end of this video to know my opinion of both of these lenses. And right now let's see 35 and 50mm once again. See the same place, same spot, more compression and a little bit more of background blur on 50mm. Also we can see the chromatic aberrations, that both of them are giving us some kind of chromatic aberrations, and I think also like they are kinda equal, so I cannot tell that one is better in controlling chromatic aberration and other is worse, but I feel like 50mm is a little bit better than 35mm, and the same frame, same perspective, so that's how it's looking. And what about me, what I am thinking about both of these lenses? So of course I will stay only with one of these, and I will stay with 50mm f1.4 from Samyang. And I think of this lens about like, of course, portrait lens, but also like some talking head lens. So I feel like this 50 is more for me, and at least I don't like this 35mm perspective. I don't like when we have wide angle, because 35 is kinda wide, and at the same time we have a lot of background blur, so I prefer this tight shot and then more bokeh. And of course 50mm is lighter, so I like when my setup is just light as possible. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope that you will like, subscribe and comment below. Thank you for watching. See ya.